Hey, what's going on? It's Lindsey Gamble. I'm here with Nick Urciuolo. We're at Mass Apparel, and we're here with the owner.
Yes.
How you been, man?
I've been great.
Yeah, of course. I just saw you yesterday, but you know, for the last couple of years, you gave me the opportunity to use Mass Apparel as a place for me to interview artists and other entrepreneurs out there, and I thought it was important to finally sit down with you after the 4 or 5 years I've been doing it, just to really, you know, talk about Mass Apparel and everything you've been doing the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So for folks that aren't familiar with you and Mass Apparel, you guys have been open for 3+ years. Talk about how things have changed over those years from the first day you opened up a storefront, or even before then to now.
Yeah, I think the biggest, it's just been like a crazy transformation. Like when we first opened, like this place did not look like this.
Yeah.
Nor did we have the knowledge as far as like maximizing space and how to make money, stuff like that. We kind of just went into it with like, let's see if we can do it. And yeah, so like over the past, you know, year and a half, things have really changed here. And so now we went from just being a boutique to now, you know, boutique. We partnered with another brand now. We have a recording studio, print shop, and you're catching me in the middle of building out our vinyl section, so it's like everything's kind of just moving right now.
Dope. Yeah, you guys kind of went from, you know, this clothing brand online to a storefront to really like a one-stop hub, which, like you said, you got the studio, you got the vinyl, you got clothing, you got, you know, events, you guys just threw a cypher.
Yeah.
And just doing a lot of things like that. What makes you want to open up, you know, besides the opportunity to make, you know, some more money, what makes you want to open up the space for, you know, artists and other creatives in the area to utilize?
You know, I think it's really important to have a space like this, you know, for people, just inspiration and the ability to kind of, you know, do events here. I just think it's super, super important. Like there's so many places shutting down that we need more places like this that are like basement parties.
For sure, especially when you get to my age, you're a little older.
No, right? You don't want to be stuck in the Austin basement, you know?
No, it's cool. It looks beautiful. You know, I haven't, you know, I spent a lot more time here, you know, a year or so ago, but it's nice to be back here. You know, everything's super nice, and you guys doing a lot of construction and changing things up. Mm-hmm. You know, before we start the interview, you guys been working on the vinyl and everything. What made you want to incorporate, you know, a nice vinyl section?
I mean, for the past like 2 years, we've been carrying vinyl, but it's been like a very small section and very like concentrated. But yeah, we've just been hit with the like another blessing of an opportunity to, you know, we're gonna have more of like a punk rock section as well as like a really, really good hip hop section. And I don't know, I just like all of us here, we love vinyl. It's like the nostalgia of it, and like it's just like seeing the artwork and stuff from like all these records from like the 70s and 80s. It's just like amazing to see. It's like so creative. And I don't know, I can't explain it compared to like artwork now. Yeah. Which I feel like is very like technically precise. It's like it's got this like rawness to it. So I'm really excited, and like we're gonna have a huge selection of it now, and stuff that you will not find like this stuff anywhere else in Boston. So it's gonna be really, really cool.
Dope. So along with you know, clothing and whatnot, you guys also do, you know, printing here. Yeah. What type of stuff do you guys print up? And what any notable collaborations and stuff you've been able to do through that?
I mean, right now we print our own stuff, and then yeah, we love to work with, you know, local artists and other companies. Like we do a lot of contract printing for anything from, you know, like a cleaning company to you know, like a restaurant. Yeah, just like it's hard. Again, it's hard to find a place like in this type of location that does stuff like this. So it's like very accessible. A lot of places that do screen printing, you got to go to like the suburbs or like at least like 10 minutes out of the city. So, I mean, it's convenient, and you know, I think we have great pricing and we do quality work. So I think it's been really, really good.
So being an entrepreneur, what's really been the toughest thing in general? Just, you know, I guess being an owner, you know, owning, you know, besides the brand, but owning a physical, you know, store property and having to deal with business and money and all that type of stuff. What's been the biggest challenge of that?
I think the biggest challenge is bringing it every day. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest difference between like being an entrepreneur and like working for a company, because if you work for a company, you know, obviously there's gonna be days when you're just like, I'm gonna mail it in today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come in at noon, and I'm just gonna coast because it's Friday.
Have a couple coffee breaks.
Yeah, have a couple coffee breaks, but you just can't, like, if you really, really want to do something like this, like, you just cannot take those days off because you're only gonna hurt yourself. Like, if I decide on a Friday that I just don't feel like answering emails or calls or anything, I'm gonna back myself up like crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna, like, it's like an everyday thing. So there's just like a lot going on. So you gotta be on top of your game. I think that's the hardest part about is just motivating yourself every day when you wake up to just like be like, I have to go 100%.
Yeah, and you came back 3 years ago. What do you wish you knew then that you know now?
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I've made so many mistakes in the past 3 years, but I'm a big believer in just, you know, you're gonna make these mistakes, and sometimes people are too scared to make those mistakes, so they're just gonna do the whole like, I'm gonna keep working at this until everything's perfect, and then I'll execute it. But I mean, I'm just like a firm believer, and if you have an idea, you gotta go for it, you know. And you're gonna make mistakes, but it's how you like are able to work through them, and just like basically when a problem comes up, like how good of a problem solver are you basically? So like I know that anything that can happen to me, like I know in my head like I can figure this out. You know, there's been like a million things where, you know, we thought maybe we wouldn't be here, but you know, you just work your way through it. And I think that's just the biggest advice. So like, just don't be scared to do it, and because like you think that things are gonna go crazy, but they're gonna go crazy regardless.
I think that's great advice. I even think with stuff I've been doing, like even just starting, you know, hard in the paint and all the little things I've done before, my thing was always to just jump into it and I mean, have a plan, but if you spend so much time planning, you never start.
Yeah.
And like you said, things happen, so you gotta, when they happen, you just adjust and figure out how to, you know, get through those. And I think you just, you know, you learn a lot. So that's definitely something that, you know, if you didn't think of that before, that's something to take into consideration. Future, what can we expect from the Mass Apparel brand, and just where do you think you're going in the future? What can we look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I just think right now we're in like a really good place, and right now I feel like we're in the place where we want to be, and it took 3 years to kind of get here.
Yeah.
But so now I think it's just scaling. Just, you know, more events, just like really focusing on our brand and creating way better new products, and yeah, you know, getting the studio going, and yeah, just trying to get in stores, just trying to do as much stuff as we can to bring people in, you know. And I think that's where we see ourselves right now. And then yeah, you know, if we can master this business model, you know, then new locations and stuff like that is definitely in our future plans.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, come down to Alston.
Yeah.
You guys on Cambridge Street.
Yep.